So my name is Josh Spencer. I'm an elite applications engineer here at 3D Vision. So what is SolidWorks Composer? Well, it's an authoring tool for creating graphical documentation content. It creates raster images and vector line art. It'll go through create exploded views. It'll create callouts, bill of materials, which is called parts list, etc. Quite a few other things in there. And it'll go through and create 3D animations. So it's a graphical tool. Full range of product uses for this. We can create, you could use this stuff for assembly instructions, for user manuals, how to go through and do that. Field service repair manuals. Training materials, definitely show people on the shop floor how things go together. Marketing materials, good images, animations, and then web-based catalogs, because we can export directly to HTML and then allow the HTML programmer to take that information and massage it maybe a little bit to get it up on the website. So what can Composer create? So I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you, kind of 3 different levels. We're going to start with a simple area. I'm going to start with some 2D black and white images, some PDFs. Then we're going to go into some 2D colored PDFs. So just simple 2D stuff. Then I can go into a more higher end outputs, so SVG files, scalable vector graphics, and it has hyperlinking in there, which is kind of neat. And then some interactive content where I actually go in there and I click, I can rotate things around. And then we'll get to the end of animations, so videos, things that I can throw out there on YouTube or just on my internal web, or send it to the customer and have them use that. And so the first thing I said is going to be 2D black and white PDFs. All right, take a look at this one. So this is a Composer customer who makes these little RC cars. So all of these images here are SolidWorks Composer images. So I'm able to come in here, add nice arrows, call outs, shade things that I really want to focus on, and focus just right here on this guy. That's all we want to look at. Nice arrows coming in there, given that's not come from Composer, just an image. Able to represent different things with visuals with words, without words. And let's go down here to the bottom real quick. One sec. I won't be able to see any updates. We can go through and we can create some really nice exploded views. It does that very easily, comparing it to SolidWorks. We don't have any mates in here. We don't have to worry about suppressing different things. We just pull things apart, and I'll show you that when we actually get into the software itself. And you can notice it has different callouts. Those are my part numbers, so I can easily know where things are located and what they are. All right, so there's that. Let's do maybe a colored PDF. Again, just some simple colored images. Got a parts list right here, different IDs, balloons that it can all be created in. So this is one Composer image. Different arrows, coloring different parts in here to help bring focus on actual what we want to focus in on. All right, so the next thing is going to be high-end outputs. So let's look at some SVG files. Let's pull it over here. So what this is a scalable vector graphic. If I come in here and I move this, see what it does? It scales itself. It keeps the line art very nice looking. Go ahead and maximize that. The native viewer for an SVG file is going to be Internet Explorer. So most people will have that functionality. A cool thing with this is if I come over here and I grab, let's say, that part number, it highlights in the bill of materials. It does that natively. I don't have to do anything special in there. And if I want to, I can come in here and I can actually just highlight in the bill of materials, and it'll go through and it'll find it. Well, this is set up as an HTML page with different linking. So all I have to do is say, all right, well, this is a subassembly. Notice my cursor changes. I grab it, and it takes me to this image. And again, I can come in here. All right, well, what do I want to look at? And I can always dive in a little bit deeper. and say, all right, well, there's that one. Or where's maybe the O-ring? Oh, right there they are. Or the main block. Or the check valve assembly. All right, well, let's dive into that one. And we can keep on going down and down and down as far as you want them to go. Again, this could be for assembly instructions on the shop floor. This could be an order system that you give the customer and say, all right, well, my part broke. All right, we'll go down there and find exactly how far down you want it to go. And again, this is a web page, so I can just go back at any point in time and see what I'm looking at, and always dive in a little bit deeper if I need to find what I'm looking for. And then some interactive content. So what this is the SolidWorks Composer player. It's very similar to eDrawings. It's free. Anybody can download it to view these SMG files. So if I look at this, I can see different views that we have set up. You can determine how you want this to actually look. So if I come in here, I can spin this around. So again, it's a lot like eDrawings, if you are familiar with that. Spin this guy around, I can zoom in, I can zoom out, take a look at it. But the really neat thing is this is interactive, meaning I can click on something and I can see different parts of my machine, different configurations. In this case, maybe I want the doors open, or the windows down, or closed or open, the sunroof open, close the front door. Let's go ahead and let's open the back one, windows down, mirrors. So I can get different configurations, different customization. And again, this is all in Composer. I don't do any of this inside of SolidWorks. All I have is just the model in SolidWorks. And I can, in Composer, I can say, hey, well, what is it going to look like as blue or as yellow, maybe as green? And again, I don't have to do anything special in SolidWorks. It's all going to be done inside of Composer, which makes it a lot easier because it's a graphical product. And again, at any point, I can show different options, different configurations of my car, different little hot spots that we have set up in here. So hopefully you can think about maybe with your products, your design, how I can show customers different representations. Great for sales people to take out with them. Say, well, here, let's configure this and say, all right, what's it going to look like? Now you can do that. Let's take the next one. I'm going to be changing the belt. So we have this, larger assembly, very, very detailed, and I want to go through there and I want to tell somebody how to change the serpentine belt. All right, well, go ahead and let's play this through. So it goes to this point and it goes ahead and it flashes and says, all right, I think it's caught up. And hopefully you'll be able to see that the belt is actually flashing a pink shade. So I can come in here and I can graphically grab that and say, all right, well, let's grab that. And now it zooms into the bolts and the bolts flash. So it says, all right, well, this is the next steps you have to go through. All right, well, I need to go in here, I need to loosen these bolts. So it'll go through, it'll unscrew the bolts, pull the bolts out, and it shows the alternator, moves that in, pulls the belt out, and then that's how you change the belt. A couple more on the interactive content. All right, so here, this is, again, inside of the Composer player itself, and if I look at it, I can spin this guy around. We can see what it looks like, different colors, different options, with the seat back, forward, any color we want it to be. More interactive, I can come in here, I can see the parts list. If we go back, we have an animation where I can play through that. And again, hopefully it's not too bad on your side. It's going to take this whole seat apart. It's going to show the battery or the motor coming out. Very, very graphical. I have no words. I can have callouts if I want, but a picture is worth 1,000 words, and an animation is worth 1,000 pictures, if not more, to show all of these different processes that we have to go through. Let's finish there. All right, so it's almost done, and we'll go back through the whole process on the assembly stage. All right, close that down. Let's look at one more thing, an output that we can do from Composer directly to a website. All right, so this is one of our HTML outputs that you can do. Again, you would customize it. So I can see right here that I have a car. Well, I can, again, configure that to show different options, different variations. If it's green or if it's this color. That looks good. And again, I can say, all right, well, I want a different body style. Or if you look at the spoiler, when I click on it, it changes that spoiler shape. We can change the springs or the bumpers. All right, that looks pretty good. If we go to the parts list, here's all of the different parts in it. Well, if I want to find it, well, where's the front shock? Well, I click on it, it highlights it, and it shows me in this bottom left window. It is exactly what it is. And any one of these views, this is the viewer, the SolidWorks Composer player, that I can come in here and then embeds that. So I can spin this guy around at any point in time. And I can get an add to cart or shopping list. And if I don't see something I want, I can always click on it, and it'll show me more kind of a detailed area down in here. So some nice things that you can do with Composer that you might not be able to do right now. Bring this back up. So one more thing that I wanted to show is going to be an animation, like a one-click animation. And hopefully this does come across very well. And this is from a Composer customer that creates spotlights. So again, creating this animation with different callouts. Again, it's very, very smooth. This could be something you would use for maybe marketing. If you go to any trade shows, you could use this on your website. And again, great for training, just to, instead of not having interactive, just having, an animation that's playing for training videos. How different parts work, how different things assemble, and it gives you some nice images, nice graphics. And the great thing, if any part of this does change CAD-wise, that can get pushed in here, and all this stuff is going to update as well. So I don't have an old revision model in here. Everything's going to be, live, up to date. I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. And it goes through this whole same process on, different callouts, different flyouts coming through there. All right, that's good. So that is all that I had. There's some of my contact information. Have a good day.